Hello again. So it's the second part of this video, and I've prepared actually even in a written form. I've prepared my question for Daniel Naroditsky because a short summary. What happened in the first part? Well, finally I cannot really understand exactly what is the answer to this question. I mean, Daniel was giving a lot of interviews and answering sort of a very simple question I've asked him, but well, if you will see the first part, you will probably also figure out that there is no very clear answer. So, because in this Levitov YouTube conversation, Daniel first says that he never had even an idea of switching on engine during a speedrun game. I mean, not even close. It's exactly his words. Then actually, we figure out that he did once. Okay, he was not checking the actual position on the board, but still, if you don't have an idea, probably you wouldn't do it. Okay, that is a contradiction. Then he says that actually he never had an idea during a competitive game. Well, speedrun is actually, at least according to official rules, it's a competitive game, obviously, and also to common sense. It is, in my opinion, but well, Dania says that he considers it as a lesson. Well, which is not the lesson, because if you make a lesson, you just do it in private, or you play a game with the person who is a part of the lesson, not just with somebody. So okay, I can also let me give you an example that I'm playing Title Tuesday, I'm streaming, and I say, okay, it's a lesson for those who are watching, which is partly true, and then I would say, well, now I will use engine, yeah, just to explain you better why this or that move. I mean, no, sorry, it doesn't work like this. So anyway, then he says that there is a very clear, in his mind, it's very clearly very different things. It divides speedrun and any other game on chess.com. Then finally, in 2 days or in few days, he's giving this answer to Greg Masrider, and he's telling that he never used it in a actual competitive game. He never used engine on chess.com, but that he is not considering speedrun as a competitive game. So you can have, well, more than one actually conclusions out of those answers, and frankly I don't understand why to make it, if you, I mean, clean, and if you really never used it anymore, as he first claims in Levitov YouTube channel, then you can do it very simple way. Yeah. So that's why this is a questionnaire. This is a question with, even I prepared the possible answers for Daniel. So question for Daniel Naroditsky. So now I want something very clear. I will explain in the second part of the video how it can be done. So did you ever deliberately switch on the computer engine while playing speedrun online? Because he said already he never did it in any other games, so chess, competitive games, chess.com. Okay, that's accepted. This is an answer, clear answer. But now we are talking about speedrun. And speedrun, he didn't, to my understanding, gave a very clear answer. Did you ever deliberately switch on the computer engine while playing speedrun online chess games other than once in the Fish and Poltrap exposed video? I mean, in this episode, as we all know. So, the possible answer. First, never before and after, never after. Yes, so no, that was absolutely only time he switched it on. Okay. Second, few times. Maybe there were a few more times here and there where, being a rook up, he switched on and was talking. Maybe, I don't know. 3. At times during speedrun games. So from time to time. 4. Frequently during speedrun games. Okay, maybe there is a fifth answer. Also possible. Danny is welcome to give it, but please, very concrete answer, please. I mean, because that we all understand what exactly happened. That's all what I'm asking for, and what we, I guess, want to know, because there is a very big difference between just once by mistake, as Danya said, switching it on during game, and that's nothing so special. Maybe, yeah, I mean, it's still a violation, but I agree, it's not a drama. And then doing it constantly, or sometimes, or even having engine running all the time. I don't know, but I mean, please, Danya, answer very clearly, yeah? This question. No, I mean, it's not unreasonable or demand, or not an unreasonable question. Please just do it. What's the problem? Yeah, because, and if the question, the answer will be one. Yeah, as I understand, for the moment is the more like it is on this chart of possible answers, it's number one, but I'm not sure. I mean, you could clearly see that it's not obvious. So if the one, then I would just ask two more questions, and really like because they're important. Because why I for the moment, if I haven't yet received a clear answer, I'm more like tending to think that it was not by far not the only time Daniel was using engine during a game. For whatever reasons, doesn't matter. I mean, I'm more referring to a fact of this. I mean, possible fact. Because I have some other, actually I raised some other questions in my previous video, which are now forgotten because I cannot really get an answer, a straight answer to the most simple one. But I would like to show you now then, if Danya says that he never did it even during speedrun games, only during this episode, then I would like to show you two moments. I hope I will not be the video will not be deleted by copyright claim. I mean, because I'm clearly using it just to explain my situation. So this is first moment from the same episode of Danya's speedrun, where okay, this position, let's listen to Danya, because he's playing still a game. This game is still going on.
Now the fastest path to checkmate here, I think, is not to take on f6. Who can tell me what it is?
Well, I mean, I cannot tell you. I need maybe 1 minute to calculate exactly what is the fastest road to mate. I guess it's not bishop f6, even though it's not impossible that it can be bishop f6. Bishop c4, knight e5, of course, humanly, it's like instantly you develop pieces, so bishop c4 would be probably the move I would play. But okay.
What is actually the fastest path to checkmate here?
Well, in fact, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's completely winning, obviously, for white, but I wouldn't even bother calculating what is the fastest one. I would personally, as I guess most of players, would just quickly play bishop c4, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, strange question to even to consider calculating what is the fastest way. No, you just don't do it during a game.
To my knowledge, maybe I'm wrong, but this move should lead to checkmate in just a couple moves. It's actually to hit this f7 pawn, either with bishop c4, but even better is to play the move knight e5.
Yeah, even better is to play knight e5 after the glance, okay.
Like, if you want to be ultra accurate, you go knight e5. Black simply cannot defend this pawn.
Well, ultra accurate, this is like impossible to, I mean, I don't know, I want an explanation. The game is still on, and actually knight e5 is mate in 8, I believe, and bishop c4 mate in 7. I mean, how do you know, Danya, that it's ultra accurate? Unless you're having engine running again here. Maybe, I don't know, just please explain me that you calculated or what. I mean, because, well, without engine, I'm not a bad player. But first of all, it would never even cross my mind to calculate, which move leads faster to mate in such a position. Secondly, to be sure that it's a faster path to mate. Knight e5, I mean, it's impossible in this 10 seconds or 15 which you had. I mean, so, to my understanding. So this is one episode. And second, actually very important, why I also talking about this, maybe engine running permanently there during speedrun at least, but because here I cannot find an explanation also to this episode, to this moment. Because now Danya is already, I think here, he finished this game, and now he's commenting. Okay, here, he's, 1 second, it's even this moment, he starts to comment it for public, yeah? And okay, So now it's very important also because I just cannot find any explanation to this. Because when you finish the game, when you finish your game on chess.com, you immediately start to have engine running, yeah, because the game over and then engine running, so you can download moves. That is what Dania is supposedly doing in the chess.com, because you can analyze game immediately. So you enter moves on chess.com and you see engine is running, so it's showing you, you know, what is the assessment and its suggestions. And that is what Dania is doing. The game finished, so the supposedly, as always, engine is already there. He is entering moves, showing some variations on the monitor he is playing, and that is very clear because here he looks at chat, but when he enters moves like with a mouse, you know, he always looks on the monitor, so not to miss let's say the square, yeah, and that is very, very clear. So let's see just to prove it, and then I will explain my point.
Actually, to push the pawn to go d5. And if black plays knight e5...
So you see, when he makes a move knight e5, he glances, yeah, just because it's clear that he is entering moves on his left monitor where he played the game. Supposedly, this is exactly the game. It is happening in the chess.com, you know, monitor, yeah.
You literally trap the knight.
So you see, when he plays a move, he is entering, he looks always there. So there is no doubt here, yeah, that he is entering moves on his left monitor. He should have normally, I mean, it's always like this on the chess.com, engine running here in the same monitor. So yeah, that is, so you don't have to look anywhere else. I mean, when you already finish the game, you can enter moves and immediately see what computer is saying. And frankly, this is not the position where you need a super powerful special engine. Here, even without engine, I can see that the knight is trapped, for example. So I mean, yes, so but then I don't understand the following. Okay, I will show you now.
Just like we did with f4. So black has to go all the way back to b8.
Yeah, where is he now? He's looking there where he was glancing, telling during a game about the engine saying this or that in that episode, and then he's reading engine, obviously. I mean, he's telling.
Now a very powerful move is to develop the queen to d4 and prevent black from fianchettoing. I think I might have even talked about this line, knight f6, e5.
I mean, clearly, yeah, there is no point to look there for the computer line when you have actually computer here and you are entering the moves on the monitor. It just doesn't make any sense. Why? If you have your monitor here, yeah, you're entering moves and also engine running there. So why you are looking always before a move, you are looking there? That's what he is doing. So there is another engine, obviously, yeah, that is very obvious here, running there, and he prefers to look at that engine instead of looking at the engine on the board he is commentating the game with. Yeah, he is entering moves and commenting the game. So this is really weird. This is the first question, yeah. But most important is the question now. Try to think, and that I already raised in my previous video, this question. I mean, how come he's entering moves on his left monitor, very obviously, like here, he looks and he enters moves. How come there is some engine running on the right on him when he looks at it, but how come the engine is reflecting to the position on the board on which is on his monitor? I mean, I understand you can have a chess base which automatically, I mean, but here, yeah, on this monitor, but how come he sees the engine in the actual position? So he enters the move now, e5, for instance,
pushing the knight away again.
Okay, so how, I mean, how does it happen? Because it's not chess base, as I understand, it's not his monitor where he played the game. So I mean, on the right, I mean, so how does engine react to? I mean, so there is a certain obvious connection Yeah, as I understand, Danya, please explain me how is it possible that you enter a move on your left screen and then immediately the engine on the right screen reacts to the move which you enter. I mean, so it's like shows actual position supposedly because you are looking at the right and telling some computer lines. I will show again.
Knight h5, for example, knight c3. Now you develop your pieces, and white is completely dominating in the center. Black cannot move because any developing move is going to result in black losing a piece. So the takeaway is when you're an Alapin player, or in general, when you control the center.
Okay, takeaway, but it's happening, yeah.
Or actually, no, it's not a mistake. Knight e5, I think, is a follow-up error. Or actually, no, I'm checking with the engine.
Actually, I'm checking with the engine. Again, he says, check this. So his engine is there.
Fully developed can be totally devastating if your opponent has developed their pieces awkwardly. So that's why d5 is so strong. So we want d5. E takes d5 is a mistake. Or actually, no, it's not a mistake. Knight e5.
So, I mean, it's clear that the engine is there somewhere, but he's entering move here. So whether somebody in the chat is actually giving him engine moves or... I don't understand. I mean, it's like, can you explain me? And what's the point at all to have engine somewhere here running or in the chat when actually you can do it simply, like
when
he's entering moves
a
on his monitor?
Error. So or actually, no, I'm...
Yeah, you see, I mean, 95, he enters the move, he looks there. But the engine you can have it in between games, actually on this monitor. So why you have it on the other monitor and how does it work? So this is also a very serious question. I mean, which definitely raises some concerns, yeah. So that there is a certain engine or whatever, possibly, which is directly connected to this monitor he's playing a game with. Maybe, I don't know, but still. So this is those are another serious question in case if Danya stands on his position, which supposedly was that he never used it before or after, then this very concrete situation when he was queen up, or maybe not. So please, just don't make it simple, Danya, please. What I want to ask, just yes, no, something like that, and that we clearly understand what happened. And then we will not, as you explained, go after you or do some, follow, leave you alone. Okay, but I'm happy to leave you alone, Daniel. But okay, isn't difficult to answer clearly. As I just wanted to show you this example, because after actually, I'm not even asking Danya to answer in public, with a certain test, like a polygraph test, where, there is pretty high probability of detecting whether you're telling truth or not. But I just wanted to show you this episode because it was a very interesting experience. I myself went through this polygraph lie detector polygraph when I was in London after my match with Jose Martinez, with Jaspam, I deliberately have done it. Just first of all, to give an example that there is nothing to fear if you can answer these questions. And of course, it's not like 100% precise polygraph, but still, it is, because immediately people who started to write, it's pseudoscience, it's nonsense. No, it is not. It is not, and this is, first of all, I received, when some people heard this news, I received a few messages, calls from people not in chess, and they say, I know, I was going through this also because not many people know, but quite some companies before taking some new employees, some new people to some serious jobs like PR manager of big company or something. They actually ask them to go through this lie detector test, and I didn't know it myself, but I had a couple of guys who said, I went through this, because when I was going to applying for some big job, the company was making in private this test. So I mean, also it is used in well, more in civil definitely cases, but still in USA, in some states, in Japan it's used. I mean, it cannot be just fake and nonsense if already, even in a legitimate system, they're using it. Okay, not of course, not as a DNA test. I mean, it doesn't have this precision at all, but it's a very serious argument for or against also. So and another point important to tell that I was checking and. Well, actually, the person who was delivering this test, I will now show you some documentation about it and explain you a bit how it went, just to share the experience. I actually liked it. It's very interesting. Was quite unexpected. Also, how the whole procedure is going. So this person, he explained me that in fact it's very difficult to trick. I mean, there is sometimes false negative, so to say. So, but there is very rarely, unless you are extremely trained, like special secret services, you need to be really well trained to have false positive, which means that you lie, but actually detector didn't understand it. Yeah, so actually, according to detector, you tell the truth, but in reality you lied. That is very difficult, very rare cases. More often, sometimes like 10% of cases, which is not that much, but still it can happen that you have, I mean, another, this false negative that actually it says no, that you actually lied, but in fact you were not lying, because people can get very emotional, you know, very nervous before this test. But then you can always repeat again and again. You repeat before finally you calm down and let's say next day and finally one day, if you are not lying, I mean, like after 3 times you do it, I mean, the chance that you will still be let's say that you say the truth and the machine is actually telling the opposite is very, very low. So and anyways, by the way, those you don't have to make it public at all also. So all in all, I mean, that is kind of serious test, and I decided to go through it, and I want to tell you to show you now the final let's say I received the paper. So I was going to, sorry, which one is the first? I think, yeah, arrangement, this one. I just you know, crossed out the name of the person who was doing it, just in case. I don't think there is anything, you know, secret in it, but still, yeah. So actually it was very nice gentleman. We did it he came specially, we did it in London, and so let's read arrangements. Arrangements were made by this Mr. gentleman to test the named person above, Mr. Vladimir Kramnik, on the 22nd of August, next day after the match, 2024, and he was examined in this center where actually we played the match in this particular address. So, examiner background information. I am fully qualified polygraph examiner, having passed an initial and advanced polygraph course at the British Polygraph Academy. This academy has been accredited by both the American Polygraph Association and the British Accreditation Council. I am also a member of the American Polygraph Association and the director of the British and European Polygraph Association. So a very, very serious, one of the major figures in this field in the world. Yeah, I served as a detective at Scotland Yard in the Metropolitan Police Service for 30 years, retiring as a detective superintendent. I then ran a team of investigators for the United Nations mandated. Well, I decided to not to show the case, but it was a very big case, so he was like a major figure of investigation of some international big criminal case. So, very serious figure, it's very, very professional. It's not this chess.com nonsense when people are asking some questions which, as he explained me, it can never be asked if it's anything serious, yeah, if it's a serious polygraph test. So I didn't want PR, I wanted like, yeah, very serious test. And because there was still certain questions which people are claiming, like Topalov match, you probably know all this, I wanted just to make sure again, even though there is no actually any reasonable way to think that I was cheating there. I was using computer assistance or whatever else. So I wanted just to make it. I mean, yeah, you see, I'm not afraid. Yeah, that is why. And I also, I just wanted to make it as an example for other people. Okay, please do it, and then all questions are finished. Yeah, when anyways. You cannot, I would say, accuse. I mean, for sure, tell that somebody is cheating, for example. But so it's only can be there can be a certain suspicion because of certain reasons, like I'm showing in the case with Daniel. And if a polygraph test is clearly saying that you are telling the truth, that you never cheat, okay, that's it. It's the end of the story. It's really, in my opinion, sense. So if Dania would go through a serious one, not a chess.com one, but really like this, official one, and he will it will be the same verdict as in this case with me, that will be the end of the story. I mean, in my opinion, it is, yes. So but you will see now how the questions were set and so on. It's very precise, very accurate, very serious, and the question and the answers are only yes or no. Actually, only no. That's all. I was not explaining how I felt about accusations of Topalov, or to be more precise, of Danailov, or cursing them. No, I was just saying yes or no. That's all. That's all I also want from Daniel, frankly. So, copies of certificate detailing these facts were made available for inspecting by the examiner and by others present at test prior to examination taking place. Okay. Issues. The examiner, Vladimir Kramnik, attending this examination in the company of Mr. Ilya Merenzon, the CEO of World Chess. No, because he organized this, yeah, he told that there is an option, and he was the main organizer of the event, and this gentleman was also from Scotland Yard former. He was also being an anti-cheating detection he was making, so that's why then after the event I just chatted with him and I said, okay, by the way, if you are doing this polygraph, and so Ilya organized this thing. So this examiner, Mr. Vladimir Kramnik and Ilya Merenzon, collectively agreed that their objectives for undertaking this examination were to determine the following. So, because I ask you what kind of questions, I mean, it's not like they're just having random questions, unless it is a criminal court examination, maybe it's a bit different, so you're not aware of questions. But anyone who would like to go through this polygraph test, I mean, he can tell what exactly he wants to answer. So some questions, but obviously it doesn't make sense to answer. I mean, you just don't go through this deliberately if you, I mean, willingly, if you just want to answer the question which opening you prefer. I mean, no, of course it must be serious questions, but the questions are let's say discussed before. So we discussed, let's say I told I'm ready any question about cheating. I know I never did it in all my life, but this, okay, it has to be very concrete and precise. So we decided finally to raise 3 questions. One is, during playing sessions in the World Chess Championship with Topalov, did he communicate in any way with anyone or anything in a matter designed or intended to assist him of cheating? That was actually at least half of the time which we spent during this session was to determine very, very precise wording of the question. I will explain you then later why. Since the 1st of June 2019, during any online chess game or tournaments, did Vladimir Kramnik communicate in any way with anyone or anything in a manner designed or intended to assist him of cheating? The same. But now about online chess. Why this date? I explained, because I said, okay, you can just ask me ever. But he said, no, we need a precise certain date. Since I haven't played anything online before that, and that was a date after I stopped competitive chess, and I just didn't play any tournament, anything online. So I said, okay, let's put the date any date at 2019, but he put it, okay, he said, let's make it 1st of June. So, okay, let's make it 1st of June. So it's just a date. Yeah, it could have been 1st of June 2002. Yeah, so okay, that was the point. Why is this date? Since he became a top 10 chess player, is he lying? Because that's very important, that to set the question in such way that you say no. I don't know why. I guess for polygraph it's but so let's say the point is that you to set a question that the true answer according to a person who is passing this test is no. That's why it's saying here that since he became a top 10 chess player, is he lying when he says that an opposing player or their official representative offered him more than $10,000 to deliberately lose a chess match or chess game? So that is the first. Let's go next one. So those are the questions. Now relevant questions and agreed definition. So you see, it's serious. First of all, by the way, he explained me that why all this Chess.com PR lie detector, so to say, is just laughable. He said that because I told him, you can ask me many other questions. I said, well, first of all, a question can never be about your opinion. This is just unacceptable for lie detector, for real polygraph test, because opinion can change. So today you have one opinion, maybe in 1 year you have another opinion. Said that those questions are just, it means it's not serious polygraph test. And most of the questions in this Chess.com is about opinion. What do you think? I mean, it is rubbish. It just has nothing to do with a real polygraph test. He said it can only be based on facts. This is first. So only factual questions. So on this 22nd, so this is a summary which I received 2-3 days after the test. On the 22nd of August, the Vladimir Kramnik has administrated polygraph test. The relevant question asked of the examinee of the test are set out below with the respective answer given in bold. Why all those questions? Here, for the purpose of the test, the examiner agreed as following. This actually took us 1 hour. A very precise wording, because he explained it's very important that you do not pretend after that, okay, you misunderstood the question. If it would be if it would be some, not very pleasant verdict from the machine that you were lying, actually, it will say. So that's why every single word we were like discussing. I mean, what exactly it means playing session. What exactly, you can read it here. What exactly means World Championship match. What exactly means communicated in any way. So we set this definition, finally, like 1 or 2 sentences, and then I read it and I kind of signed. I said, yes, I fully agree with this definition. So I have no way back to say that something was misunderstood. So that is a full list of, that took us like most of the time. And then actually it was interesting. I probably wouldn't go into very small details because I guess, it's maybe secret or whatever, how is it going, but actually it's a very detailed procedure, like several steps, and then a lot of, even sometimes the examiner is a bit tricky, so he's suddenly asking some question that you like, that you are not in fact, that you are aware really like what he's telling, that not you just like monotonously say no, but sometimes he asks some questions suddenly that was not expected, but and so on, just to test you. So it is fun. It's very interesting, actually. I really liked the whole procedure. So the question 1. So finally, this is the verdict. During your playing sessions in the World Championship match with Topalov, did you communicate in any way with anyone or anything in matter designed or intending to assist you of cheating? Yes or no? No. Question, have you ever played have you ever communicated the same? Got certain assistance in any online chess game or tournament since 2019, so forever, since ever, actually, I played. No. And certain also, yes, since you became top 10 chess player, are you lying when you say that? Because yes, it's true, I was receiving let's say at least once, a financial offer to lose a game. So yeah, is it? Are you lying when you tell it? No, I'm not lying. So I'm telling the truth. The truth. Okay. I cannot, of course, tell about this third thing more, but because okay, I'll be sued probably. But that is the truth. That is truth. So and I admit it here. So it's confirmed. So and then the final page, I just there was here the name, everything, all information about the person who was doing it, performing the test. So I cut it. Yeah. Well, I'm not. Again, I think he wouldn't mind, but just to be accurate, if he wants, he will tell exactly who is he and yeah. The polygraph chart was scored using the very latest computerized polygraph software as well as being manually checked by the examiner. Opinion and conclusion. Data collected during the interview, and there was quite a lot of data collected before we started this actual test, yeah, answering questions. So data collected during the interview and examination and criteria used by examiner led him to conclude that Mr. Vladimir Kramnik should be classified as showing no deception indicated in relation to all three of the three questions above, meaning that Mr. Vladimir Kramnik was being honest in all his answers, and therefore the examiner, so the decision that okay, I was not using any help, I was not cheating. let's put it simple. In my match against Apolov, I never ever used engine help during any online chat, not speedrun or educational, any online chess game or tournament. And yes, it's true that I'm not lying when I say that I was receiving some offer to deliberately lose, yeah, for more than $10,000, yeah, offer, respectively submitted, so on, so on. So, I mean, okay, I'm not really asking anyone or Dania particularly to go through this test, but even though it's possible, yeah, but I mean, if you are not faking it, I mean, like doing this, doing it professionally like I did with a real professional in London, but at least this gives an example how it, how it can be done. So very clear answer, very clear, clarified question. That's what I did here. Now I don't know, and I would just like a very clear one sentence answer. I mean, that would actually solve quite a lot on this question and a couple of questions. If the answer would be never before and after, then maybe I would appreciate that he explains how is it possible, those two questions which I raised in this video. That is, for now, that is it. I mean, and it could have been done from the beginning, Danny, instead of, making all this things, complaining, insulting. Well, okay, what's such a big deal? Yeah, just to answer this question. If, as you say, that you are clean, you never did it, maybe, I don't know, but please, yeah, that's simple. It's so I really hope that if Danya wants that he's left alone, that nobody is bothering him. But then, well, if you're clean, if it's really, and I hope so. But if this is the case, please answer these questions. And okay, it's like if everything will fit, yeah. So what's the problem? Okay, that's what I have to say on this matter, and I'm still, again, I repeat, I'm still waiting for concrete, clear answer from Danya on these questions, and I don't see any reason to be insulted by it or to be offensive or not to give this answer. Yeah, if you are clean, as he says. Thank you.